Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to the channel today. So today we're going to take out this little monster. It's the 2021 model Ct125 Trail. So what I think, and this is only my personal opinion, could be wrong, you can throw a comment in the comment section. I think this could be what I'd class as the world's best, smallest superbike. So, you know, it's probably a pretty big claim, but then again it's a pretty big bike. So what we might do is get on, take it for a bit of a run. At the moment this sits on 0 kilometres, so it's starting off with that, and we'll talk about the bike. And this is my second time around on the bike, so what I mean by second time, first one I had was a tan version, now onto this red. So we'll take it for a run, see what I think, tell you what else is going on at the moment, and let's ride. So I'll just grab me bash hat and fire away. Hi guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today on my first run on the Honda Ct125 Trail. It's a really nice day here in central tablelands in New South Wales, and it's been raining on and off for a while, but stopped today, and out here, well, there's a few potholes on the road I just noticed there as I look down, and it's around about 14 degrees. So like I said, good day to be out riding, so any day you're out riding is a good day. So this is my second time around with the Honda Ct125 Trail. First one I had about 6 months ago, and it was a tan version. I had a lot of fun on that bike, and after selling it after a few months of ownership, I regret moving the bike out, and then an opportunity arose a couple of weeks ago to pick up this red one, and I'm really happy with this red. Really nice fiery colour, stands out nicely, and I think it's sort of good as far as riding amongst the cars and that, where they notice that a red bike may be a tad better compared to a one that blends in more with the surroundings. And no complaints about the tan one. It was a good bike when I had it there, and it was nice bike to ride, and that was the main reason when I regret selling it, that I thought I'd come back out and have another crack at one of these. So if you're new to the channel and you're thinking about subscribing, please do, because I hate to put up a few clips on this and tell you what I think as far as accessories go. So first off, these run in around about $7,800 here in Australia, and if you want a few specs on the bike, you know, they weigh in around about 120, 130 kilos, and apart from that, they run about a 5.1 litre petrol tank. They're fuel injected, and they've got electric and kickstart. They're a very easy bike to ride. They're more just like a setup and big position, you know, in the riding style. So that's fairly easy. They come with ABS braking on the front wheel only, which isn't selectable, so you've just got ABS or up front and just normal braking at the rear. But overall, for what it is, 125 cc's and 8 horsepower, it performs the task really well. So you've got no worries, it's got enough power. I'm running along now around about 50 kilometres an hour, and it's just loafing along at that. If you look at its top speed, I think it's sort of happy up till you get to around about 80 kilometres an hour, and when you get to that speed, well, you know, you run out of puff in stock form. When I had the previous bike, I did a few mods to it, and some of those mods I'm going to carry over on this particular bike too. The mods in question I did were mainly, there were a few sort of cosmetics with racks in the over the headlight area, and also in the centre of the frame. Well, when I sold the other bike, I never bought those, so they're on this bike now, and I think, well, the ABS brakes work pretty good, and I'd been happy with the way they perform. You know, they're not powerhouses or anything like that, but they do the job. The speedo at times I find is a little bit hard to read, and just depends on the lighting conditions. It's not the best speedo or instrumentation I've ever seen on the bike, but it does their job. The ride itself is pretty good for around town. You know, it's sort of adequate for short bursts around town. As I'm riding along here now, I see no problem with that one. But if you get serious with it and you want to do a lot of off-road work, I think I would go for what I did in the first one, and that's the YSS front spring inserts, and they tidied the front up fairly well and firmed it up and got rid of that clunker noise what you used to get in stock form when you're out on the dirt roads riding over bumps and things like that. So if you keep that in mind. The rear shocks, so I don't think I'll even bother touching them this time. Last time I put YSS on the back and they were alright, but you know, I find the stock ones are alright, and I've got no intentions at the moment to run out getting one of those. As far as exhausts go, well, to buy exhausts for these bikes are not really what's called a cheap option, and I think I'd be more inclined to spend the money elsewhere, just probably on upgrade of tyres. Tell you one thing, but I did notice the other day, there's a guy on eBay who's selling tyres for this bike, and you can buy them in size 275, and I'm going to buy them myself. You buy 5 tyres off him for $100 and $50 to post them, where if you go elsewhere, you'll get 2 tyres for roughly $100 or $80, and you'll still have to pay $30 postage. So I plan on buying 5 off him shortly, because how could you miss 5 tyres for $99 plus postage, and you won't need to buy them again. And they're the same tyres I ran before on the bike, and I found those tyres really, really good. So if you're after a bargain in tyres and you live in Australia, naturally you've got to buy the 5. But while we're at it, I did order the magnetic sump plug, because I found that, seeing these ones haven't got an external oil filter, it's a good idea to do regular oil changes. And I think if you're going to keep one of these for the long haul, considering they're not a cheap bike to buy, you'd be better off doing that. So I picked up my magnetic sump plug once again off eBay from a place who sells parts for Aussie postie bikes, and I think it cost roughly $19.90, including postage, so it was a pretty cheap option, $20. Now what I'm planning to do with this bike, I'll do the first oil change. I think I will do one at 200 kilometres like I mentioned earlier, then I might swing it up to around about 750, or I will run it straight through to 1,000 kilometres and then let the dealer go from there and do that one. And I think that'll be good insurance on one of these, because if you're going to keep this for long term, you might as well look after the motor. And to do oil and filter changes, well, there's no filter, but to do oil changes yourself on one of these bikes, they only hold roughly a litre of oil, and you could probably do one for about $10, and they're fairly simple to do that oil change. And you know, it's all about routine maintenance and keeping your bike happy and keeping it running well, and more importantly, the oil's the blood of the motor, so no oil and you're out of luck. The other thing too, probably noticed I've got the nameplates on there now, Warro, so I decided the other day to pick up one of those, or a couple of weeks back pre-order one in when I looked online. Actually, the same friend that mentioned the tyres, he also mentioned that my name came up on the services New South Wales where I could pick up the plates from, so I looked over and had a look, and I thought, oh well, I might buy those in red. It'll come in handy when I'm out there on the track, and I think it looks good on the back of the bike, so you know, when you look at it that way, you can't sort of complain. The other options on the bike at the moment I will be putting the mudguard extender back on the bike. I've still got that from the previous days. I found that it worked quite well when I was out there, and I never got any mud and all that up underneath the front guard. So, you know, apart from the couple of racks I've got on it now, I also put in my temperature gauge there. So it worked well, and these are just things I had when I bought all those accessories that time and just kept them here. And I actually was going to sell them in those earlier days, but no one wanted to buy them. So that's how it goes. But more importantly, I don't have to rebuy them again, so that's even better. And I'll do that, me front fork insert kit. And at the moment I won't rush out and do tyres, but I like I said earlier, I'll probably go ahead and buy that deal of 5 tyres for $100 and $50 to post them, and I've got them in stock, because I did find those tyres, what I actually had on the bike, worked really well. So the times when I was out in the scrub, it handled the rocky, and there was a little bit of mud out there too, but it handled all that quite well. So I was happy the first time, and I think if I come back again at $20 each this time, but I think that first time I paid close on $150 for those 2 tyres plus postage. I talked about it before, and I did a few rough rides, but I'm going to take this, I don't know, into a couple of other areas, but that'll be after I put that 13-tooth front sprocket on it, because I wouldn't like my chances of riding it in a stock form. It wouldn't have the power to get me along at the speed I want to go, in case I get into any area where I really need that little bit more get up and go to do it. So apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this bit of a overview on this one and have a look what I think is the world's best smallest superbike. And you know, like once again, if you haven't planned on thinking of subscribing to the channel, please do. And if you like the content what came out today, give it a thumbs up. And I'll be back with you next time when we take it on a bit of a run out further out along the road, and we'll go from there. And in the meantime, all I can say is enjoy your bike riding if you're out riding at the moment. Stay safe. Catch up with you on the next trip. And all the best for now. See you.